What happens when we die? Does our consciousness simply vanish, or does it continue beyond the physical body? For centuries, this question has haunted philosophers, scientists, and spiritual seekers alike. But what if science is beginning to uncover clues that challenge everything we thought we knew about death? From near-death experiences where people claim to have seen the afterlife, to mind-bending theories in quantum physics suggesting that consciousness may exist beyond the brain, the evidence is both intriguing and unsettling. Could it be possible that death is not the end, but merely a transition? Let's dive deep into what science has to say about one of life's greatest mysteries. Consciousness, the very essence of our thoughts, emotions, and self-awareness, is one of the greatest mysteries of science. While some believe it's merely a product of brain activity, others argue that it exists beyond the physical body. Neuroscientists struggle with the hard problem of consciousness. How does the brain generate subjective experience? Could consciousness be more than just neurons firing? Some theories suggest it might be a fundamental part of the universe itself, existing independently of the body. If that's true, could it mean that consciousness survives even after death? Near-death experiences, NDEs, are some of the most compelling pieces of evidence suggesting that consciousness might survive after death. People who have been clinically dead, sometimes for minutes, report eerily similar experiences: a tunnel of light, a sense of peace, meeting deceased loved ones, and even witnessing their own bodies from above. These reports come from people of different cultures, backgrounds, and beliefs, yet their experiences share striking similarities. But how is it possible for a person with no brain activity to have vivid, conscious experiences? One of the most famous studies on NDEs comes from Dr. Sam Parnia's AWARE study, where cardiac arrest patients who were revived reported out-of-body experiences and even accurately described details of the hospital room while they were clinically dead. In another well-documented case, a blind woman described seeing for the first time during her NDE, only to return to her normal blindness after being revived. These cases challenge the idea that consciousness is purely a product of the brain. If the brain is inactive, where do these experiences come from? And could they be proof that consciousness exists beyond the physical body? Some scientists believe that the key to understanding consciousness beyond death lies in quantum physics, the strange and unpredictable laws that govern the smallest particles in the universe. The orchestra theory, proposed by physicist Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff, suggests that consciousness originates in tiny structures within brain cells called microtubules, where quantum processes occur. If true, this means consciousness isn't just a byproduct of brain activity but something that exists at a quantum level, potentially beyond time and space. Some researchers even argue that when we die, our consciousness doesn't disappear. It simply returns to the fabric of the universe, much like energy that can never be destroyed. Could quantum mechanics be the missing link that finally explains life after death? What if everything we experience, life, death, and even consciousness itself, is just part of an advanced simulation? According to simulation theory, proposed by philosopher Nick Bostrom, it's possible that we are living inside a highly sophisticated computer program created by a far more advanced civilization. If this is true, then consciousness might not be tied to the physical brain at all. It could be just a stream of data running on a cosmic server. Some scientists believe that strange phenomena in quantum physics, like particles behaving differently when observed, hint at the existence of programmed rules in our reality. If death is merely an exit from the simulation, could consciousness continue to exist beyond it, like a player logging out of a game? And if so, who or what is running the program? Scientists have long struggled to test whether consciousness can survive beyond death, but some groundbreaking experiments have produced astonishing results. One of the most well-known studies is the AWARE, Awareness During Resuscitation, study led by Dr. Sam Parnia, where researchers placed hidden symbols on high shelves in hospital rooms, only visible from above. Some cardiac arrest patients who were revived later reported out-of-body experiences where they accurately described these symbols, despite having no brain activity at the time. Another fascinating experiment involves the double-slit experiment, which suggests that consciousness itself may influence reality at a quantum level. If our minds can affect the physical world, Could consciousness exist independently of the body? While these experiments don't provide definitive proof of life after death, they challenge the traditional view that consciousness is purely a product of the brain, hinting that it may be something far greater, something science is only beginning to understand. Throughout history, various philosophical and spiritual traditions have suggested that consciousness is not limited to the physical body. Many ancient belief systems, including Hinduism, Buddhism, and certain mystical branches of Christianity and Islam, describe consciousness as an eternal force that transcends death. The concept of reincarnation, where the soul is reborn into new bodies, has been explored in both religious texts and modern case studies, some of which document children recalling past lives with uncanny accuracy. Philosophers like Plato and Descartes have argued that consciousness exists beyond the material world, while modern thinkers propose that it may be part of a universal field of awareness. Some even link this idea to scientific theories, such as the notion that the universe itself may be a conscious entity. If these perspectives hold any truth, death might not be an end, but merely a transition into a different state of existence, one that science is only beginning to explore. Despite the fascinating theories and personal experiences suggesting consciousness might survive after death, many scientists and skeptics argue that these ideas lack concrete evidence. The materialist perspective holds that consciousness is merely a product of brain activity. When the brain dies, so does our awareness. Skeptics explain near-death experiences, NDEs, as hallucinations caused by oxygen deprivation, neurotransmitter surges, or psychological responses to trauma. They argue that the sense of floating above one's body or seeing a bright light can be recreated in lab settings using brain stimulation and drugs like ketamine. Additionally, while quantum theories of consciousness sound intriguing, critics claim there is no direct proof that quantum mechanics plays any role in human thought or survival after death. Similarly, the simulation theory remains speculative, with no way to test whether we truly live in a programmed reality. From a strictly scientific viewpoint, there is no definitive proof that consciousness exists outside the brain, only compelling anecdotes and unproven hypotheses. Until stronger evidence emerges, skeptics maintain that the idea of life after death remains a matter of belief rather than science. The question of whether consciousness survives after death remains one of humanity's greatest mysteries. While near-death experiences, quantum physics, and ancient spiritual beliefs suggest that consciousness may extend beyond the brain, scientific skepticism and the lack of concrete proof keep it an open debate. Are we simply biological machines that cease to exist after death, or is our consciousness part of something much larger, perhaps an eternal force beyond time and space? Science has yet to provide a definitive answer, but as research continues, we may one day uncover the truth. Until then, the mystery of what happens after death remains a profound and thought-provoking enigma, one that each of us will eventually face.